And with me right now is Steve Parsons from Third Mutual. Good to have you here, Steve. And you, of course, are the board treasurer. So one of the things you're going to talk about is the financial situation and the fact that the 2018 budget was sent out, right?
Correct. Yeah, if you paid attention to your mail last week, you should have received a white envelope, and in it was the new assessments for the new year with a breakdown of the finances. And this compares 2017 to 2018. In particular, 2018 had an increase of $8.56 over 2017. And this is a 1.4% increase. This is the first increase that we've had in 3 years. Third Mutual portion was $3.60, mainly due to infrastructure necessities and improvements that we're moving into. This assessment was reduced because of what we did this last year in solar. Solar that we put in is to make up about 85% of the electricity needed in our common areas, so we should be seeing some of that savings here coming up soon. The GRF portion was $4.96, and this is primarily due to them trying to backfill or eliminate the prior year surplus that they gave up before. So a lot of people don't understand that our assessment, which is the total $8.56, covers both Third Mutual and our portion that's owed to GRF for common facilities.
And of course, even though you went through this a few months ago, this is people kind of forget that it takes about a month or two after that to really finalize everything.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Actually, the final audit takes 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
And we do assume that we're going to have a little bit left over after that, but we have to wait for the final adjustments from the audit to tell exactly how much we have left and where it's going to go.
Okay. So let's look at the end of year. The outlook for it.
We anticipate a small surplus after the audit, like I mentioned. But I just wanted to cover some of the projects that we were able to complete this year. And very seldom, I guess, does the public receive a list of things that we did. But I'd just like to go over a few of these things.
Okay.
The solar project was a big one for us, and this was about $2.3 million. It was completed last year. It's up and running. The mailbox replacement program was done. The elevator and mailroom tile floor deep cleaning was done. Building 5212, the garage repair was finished. Buildings 5500 3E and 5510 1C, balcony dry rot repairs were completed. Also, we have some other programs that were started last year that's going to be continuing on in the near future. One is the wall security at Gate 11. That commenced. Now, some areas were raised and the shepherd's hook was put in.
Right.
And there's going to be like 7,000 more linear feet put in at least this next year. And there are plans to eventually get through all of Third Mutual.
Okay.
So that's something that's pretty exciting to see. Also coming up are the paving program, the seal coat program, which really saves us as far as cost of pavement. It's a seal that's put over real good not concrete, but pavement. Some other things you'll see that's moving forward from this year into next year is waistline remuneration that a lot of people probably already know about. That's the inner lining of waistlines, so we don't have to dig up and completely replace them. This is just a lining that we put in that's helped tremendously, and it's a lot less. The prior to paint program will continue. Of course, one of our biggest problems is dry rot. And this is a program that's going to be going on for some time. So we put a lot of resources against this program.
Right.
And the nice thing is our contractors are going to be continuing straight on into the new year rather than a time lag like we had this last year, not being able to start until about June or July.
Okay.
So some other things are LH21 stairway beam replacements, which is anticipated to come in at about $1 million. The SCE streetlight acquisition contract was signed, where we are purchasing from them over 750 light poles. And once we have that contract in place this next year and everything signed, then we'll start refitting them also. So people will be able to have better lighting, and especially at night and in the early morning. And be able to see where you're actually going. And some people have trouble with stumbling, so this will help considerably in that area as well. So the Budget breakdown for 2018, if you go through your packet that you received last week, it's just a quick recap of this.
Okay.
Revenues are 1.1 million anticipated. Expenses are 19.6 million. Reserve contributions are 13 million, and the GRF reserve contribution is 14.5 million. So as you can see, this is not a small program.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we're trying to hold the line as much on assessments, not have a special assessments either. So we're working our way through it, and the staff is really gearing up to go into the new year with a lot of things ready to go as of the 2nd of January.
Okay, very good. Now, a lot of these projects, as you said, are not something that are going to be completed in a year.
Correct. Correct.
It's going to take several years for some of these, right?
Right. Like dry rot.
Right.
Yeah.
And as far as the lighting goes, I know you're waiting for that timeline because you have to wait for Edison
Correct.
to sign off on things and
Yep. Transfer assets.
and then it takes a few months
Right.
from what I understand. Even they have to change the numbering on the poles
Exactly.
or something like that, right?
Yes, and
or
we're
they
hiring
take
a
them off and
consultant
then,
to help us
yeah.
in this area too.
Yeah.
So.
And the consultant, am I right, that you're going to be hiring the consultant to go through all this, and once everything is done, will it be staff that'll take care of the lights, or we have a lighting company that come in every once in a while? Are you looking at both
There may
possibilities?
be part and part, but mostly
Okay.
it's going to be outside contractors coming
Okay.
in. The consultant will look at different areas and tell us how much we need to have in light.
Right.
So it may be different in different places, and he
Mm-hmm.
may also find out there's places we haven't even considered we need to have additional lighting.
Yeah.
As well as the arms that we put on, certain retrofit on the
Okay.
concrete light poles.
Okay. So that'll take a few months because, as we know, with SCE, nothing goes quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more on them right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, a few things I think that's happened here recently that I'd like to
Okay.
cover. People like to see how their property values are being handled. And the last report I saw said that there's only 80 units available in Third Mutual, of which over 50 are under contract.
Okay.
So there isn't much of an inventory out there.
Right.
And what we're seeing is an increasing number of people trying to purchase in here. And so the boards are working quickly, as well as United also. We're working hand in hand to make this process go smoothly before the end of the year, so people who want to get in can get in.
Okay.
And something else that's good is the property values have gone up. The last report I saw was the average cost per unit in Third Mutual was over $375,000. So that's good news for a lot of people. Even though we still have a lot of investors, it's good news for them too.
Yes.
So things are being handled. Inspections are taking place very much quicker. They're down to like 5 days versus 20 days. And that's helping the real estate
Oh, that's
industry as
good.
well.
Yeah.
And our new director of inspection is just fantastic. His staff is fantastic. Something else that happened last week is we had a real estate agent meeting with
That's right.
the staff, VMS staff, and it went very well. And in my talking with some real estate agents afterward, they said it's the best one they've ever had. And they are looking to try to establish this every 3 months. So we anticipate a lot of good things coming out of there and information passing quicker so that we can make adjustments quicker too, even to the boards considering things.
Okay. And as far as the prices go and the inventory, that's sort of indicative of what's going on in Orange County right now.
Okay,
That's,
I'll take your word for that.
Well, I read an article probably about a week and a half ago, and the inventory is way down. Prices are up now, which is good for the sellers, the buyers. We're in that trend we were several years ago, where the inventory is hard
Sure.
to come by. So that pushes the prices up. And
Sure.
again, this time of the year, quite often the holidays times, there's less
Yeah.
out there. So. But if you're a seller, it's good news. That's for darn sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
All
it's
right.
good for buyers too, because
Yeah.
our units are cheaper than what you'll find outside the walls.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Very much.
Yeah.
And it's a great community. It is a community of family. And that's one of the reasons my wife and I moved here, was because of the different nationalities represented and getting to know people before we grow too old to really enjoy them. And we really enjoy their stories.
Yeah.
So it's tremendous. The other thing is I wanted to bring up was last year there seemed to be a lull in work that was being done through contracts. This year you won't see that. Two department heads, Bruce Hartley and Ernesto Munoz, have been working really hard to get contracts already up and ready to go, effective the 1st of January. And Dan Hoxie in contracting has been working with his staff a lot. So you won't see the big time lag between January and July that you saw this year. So things are going to move quicker. We expect expenditures to go up, not as much to go to reserves. However, we think this is a plus. So stand by and you'll see some good things happening this year.
All right, very good. As always, Steve, thank you very much.
Okay.
You take care, and we'll be right back.